Robinson from Rouge Salon and Spa. I just did my awesome extensions. These are pure hair extensions. So I'm just going to ask her a couple questions and just to kind of let you guys know, some information about these extensions. Hi Jen, how are you today?
I'm great, Kelly. How are you?
Good. Okay, so these are pure hair extensions. Are these like the prefer method, or like do you prefer these ones over the other types of hair extensions, or?
I personally do, yes.
Yeah.
Especially for like a more permanent extension.
Mm-hmm.
They're just, I find, better for the hair and scalp.
So I hear that the hair extension company, Pure Hair Extensions, that they're environmentally friendly. So I just want to know
Yes.
about that.
There's no heat, glue, or waxes involved in the application. So there's no fumes like for yourself or for me when the heat is applied. And they're also conscious on their packaging when they send it to you. So there's not overuse of that. You don't get a huge box for a few extensions.
Oh, that's nice.
Mm-hmm.
And I heard something about that they reuse the hair for oil spills or anything. Is that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can send it back.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's awesome, because then it goes back instead of just throwing it out and wasting it.
Yeah. Absolutely.
That's awesome. So how is the hair processed before it's put in my hair compared to other hair extensions?
The difference is, the main difference is in the coloring process. They use fabric dyes as opposed to harsh chemicals to color the extensions. So
it's healthier.
It's much healthier, and the hair remains in a better state. Like, it's less invasive for the hair, so that allows the hair to last longer and feel a lot better than most extensions do.
Oh. So how are they attached?
They are a portion of your own hair is threaded through a little metal cylinder, and then the extension piece is put in there, and then that's clamped shut. So that's how no glue or anything is used.
Okay, so how many pieces will a typical full head of hair extensions need?
Full head is approximately 150, and it varies on the individual, your texture of hair, and density.
How long does the hair extensions, what is the length that they come in?
Either 14 inch or 20 inch.
Okay, and I have the 20 inches in.
Yes.
It's already styled. Okay, so what is the quality of the hair?
It's 100% human hair, and it's Remy.
Okay, so that means
all the cuticle faces the same way, so you don't have the cuticles acting as like Velcro amongst each other, and that's how you get that matted up feeling.
Yeah. Okay, so what type of hair is used in
Chinese and Indian.
Okay, so is there a reason for that, or?
It tends to be a stronger hair texture, so it can more easily go through the coloring process, and because even though it's human hair, it's not attached to your scalp, so you don't have the natural oils the same as your real hair does. So the stronger the hair, the longer it's going to last and look healthy for you.
Oh, okay. Are there any extra steps that we should know of to take care of the extensions?
Yes, there's actually there's a care and maintenance sheet that I give to the clients. It covers everything for you: shampoo and conditioner, what you want to use, gentle products. You want to kind of stay away from alcohol, silicone, waxes, oils are a big no-no. And as far as styling, you want to use a wide tooth comb to gently get the tangles out when it's wet. You don't want to brush it when it's wet. When it's dry, use a soft brush. Color and perming and any chemicals you need to discuss with a licensed professional. You should never tackle those on your own.
Somebody more, can anybody do it, like any hairstylist, or?
It's preferred that someone who works with Pure to do it, just because it is a little bit different than typical hair coloring is.
Is there any specific products you recommend to use on the hair extensions?
I would stick with professional, and like I said, just look for things that, you don't have the slippery stuff like oils and stuff in there, because that can cause the extensions to slip out. And the alcohols obviously are drying, just like they are on your own hair.
So anything with oil, basically, even if you're using it on just your ends, just stay
Yes.
away from anything
Yes.
with oil in it, like Moroccan oil. I know my favorite is Moroccan oil, but
Yes.
have to stay away from that.
Yes, because I had an example where a client was using it just on their ends, and their extensions were slipping out, and it took us a while to figure out what was causing it.
Mhm.
So,
So basically, just any like a deep conditioning, right? Like, but that doesn't have any oil in it.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can even use like a nice, like a leave-in conditioner, a spray, or like a cream, stuff like that.
Mhm. Okay, so how often are these extensions? How often do you have to get them adjusted?
Approximately every 6 weeks.
Okay.
And it depends on your hair growth, but 6 weeks is generally rule of thumb.
Okay.
I've had one client leave them a couple weeks longer due to she just couldn't get in, something happened, and they start to tangle at the root, and then that can cause a lot of problems. So you
Yeah.
want to make sure that they're nice and adjusted. It keeps everything neat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because your hair falls out, right? When you're,
Yes.
it's natural that your hair falls out,
Yeah.
right? So would that cause like tangling and stuff?
Yeah, because any of your hair that has come out, it's still locked in that little cylinder. So you have those ends kind of sticking out, and then they tangle with the other ones, and it can create a little bit of a mess. Yeah.
Okay, so how long do these extensions normally last?
About a year.
About a year?
Yeah, the hair itself is good for a year, and it depends how you take care of it. I mean, if you follow the guidelines, and it can last easily a year.
Okay, that's good. So they would just be adjusted every 6 weeks until basically they get drier
Yep.
and
Yeah.
stuff like that. So how do you work with the touch-ups and everything? Like, I have some highlights in my hair. How would you go about doing that, something like that?
You can color all around where the extensions aren't, and you just have to be careful not to touch the metal bead because it'll cause a chemical reaction. But yeah, you can color anything that doesn't have the extensions in there. And typically every third adjustment, we would take out the extensions completely and give you your full color, so that way the stuff in the back, doesn't have overly long regrowth.
Okay.
Yeah, and then they go back in.
Okay, so can these extensions be dyed?
Yes, they can, within reason. Like, you don't want to take the very dark brown ones and try and get them as blonde as this. But I have colored them, and yeah, it's not something you want to do yourself.
Yeah,
That's the only thing.
leave it to a professional,
Yes.
that's for sure. Do the extensions come in different textures for different people with different hair?
No, they are the one standard texture. They tend to have, if you let them dry naturally, just a slight wave to them, so they're easily straightened, and they hold a curl nicely if you choose to curl them.
So can you perm the extensions or anything to match, like if people have curly hair?
You can, yeah. It's I wouldn't personally like to, because it is possible, but it does take away from the integrity of the hair. So you'd have to, again, a professional, and within reason.
Yeah. So how long does the total installation process take?
Anywhere from about an hour to 3-4 hours.
Depending on how much hair you need.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's a lot less time than traditional methods.
It's about 3 times faster.
Yeah, so that's nice. Can you swim with these extensions?
You can, yeah. It's recommended that you detangle your hair first, put it in a braid. That helps protect, from the chlorine and stuff. Recommended not to have prolonged periods of swimming. And when you're done, give it a good rinse, shampoo, condition to get all the either chlorine or salt out of it, so it doesn't dry out.
Can any stylist cut these extensions?
I'm sure some could. They would have to have some understanding of the extensions or experience in doing it, because it is a little bit different than just a regular haircut.
Yeah. So how do you recommend sleeping with the extensions?
The hair needs to be 100% dry, and it's best in a braid or a ponytail.
Okay.
Just so that way when you're tossing and turning, it's not rubbing together.
And I heard that if you sleep on like a silk pillow, does that help?
It does. Silk pillows help to reduce friction, but I would still ponytail or braid, yeah.
So does the hair come in different densities?
The 20-inch ones come in regular density or delicate. And delicate is good if someone has finer hair. Like I use some delicate on you around the face and near the top. And it's also good just for like a color technique. If someone doesn't necessarily want length or density, but they want to add a different color to their hair without actually coloring their hair, the delicate ones are great for that.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, so because sometimes people have really fine hair, then they can't have like the thicker blondes kind of thing.
Yeah.
Because it'll put too much stress. Is that kind of what?
And they just tend to be a little more noticeable. So if someone had, like for instance, we did different colors in your hair, and if someone has really, really fine hair, you know, a blonde piece and a brown piece of the regular density is going to look like much thicker highlights than the highlight that they have in their hair. So the delicate ones will blend a lot better for their hair type.
How many colors do the extensions come in?
There are 23 natural shades and 12 radicals, being the bright pinks and blues and